Welcome to ISE's Equity Index Weekly Outlook, a weekly outlook on ISE and other industry indexes, hosted by Patrick Ceresna, a derivative market specialist and investment manager with extensive expertise in options and the broader derivative markets. ISE trades options on more than 15 proprietary sector indexes, as well as broad-based indexes and a variety of licensed benchmarks. ISE continually enhances its trading systems and develops new index options products to provide investors with the best marketplace and investment tools to trade smarter.
Hello and welcome to your ISE Equity Index Outlook for March 30th, 2009. This is Patrick Ceresna. First off, as always, I want to take a look at the S&P 500 using that SPDR exchange traded fund symbol SPY. And the rally now is extended to well over 2 weeks. In a straight line fashion, and even the retracements that we had last week were very shallow before the bulls came back with more aggressive buying. Really now a lot of the measured moves are indicating an overhead resistance up at that 85 level, and really that 85-87 zone up above is a very formidable overhead resistance level. So we can't rule out even a little bit more upside as this pushes up there, but really from a risk-reward perspective, it's very hard to justify being long anything or starting to accumulate anything until we have some sort of a sell cycle to show us how this trend plays out over the next month or two. Now, when we take a look at the ISE U.S. Regional Banks Index, which is that symbol JLO, we readjusted that middle focal point to the $14 to $15 area to reflect now a little bit of a higher consolidation zone. And really this here as well is a very key level, and we've now got markets that are well overextended. And it's hard to justify accumulating these indices at this moment until we go through some sort of a profit-taking cycle. Ideally, a pullback that goes into this $11 to $13 area on the downside. If we get price action coming down there with the bulls holding the line down in there, that's when we can look at a potential more sustained rally over the month of April and maybe May that could push as high as the $18, $19 level. But at this stage, it's hard to justify accumulating this up at these levels without first seeing some sort of a profit-taking cycle. Next, I want to take a look at that ISE Syndex Index, which is the symbol SIN, and this is index of all the tobacco, distiller, and casino companies. And essentially, we've seen also that very robust rally off of those lows. And really at this stage, we have some also formidable overhead resistance here as we're now striking into that 60-62 point. It may still even extend up to 65-67, but again, from a risk-reward proposition, it's very hard to justify accumulating any of this stuff until we see that pullback. A natural pullback in the Syndex would actually come back down into that 54 to 57 area on the downside, and when we watch the price action consolidating to there, that's where we can really visit the idea of entering into this play again. When we take a closer look at that ISE Natural Gas Index, which is a symbol FUM, also we've seen that same extended rally coming pretty strongly off those $50 lows. Really at this stage, we're now readjusting that focal point up into the 65-68 and added that new 58 to 60 focal point on the at the midpoint. And really at this stage, we also need to see some sort of a profit-taking cycle to see whether or not this natural gas index can really dig in here. The natural retracement zone falls down in this 55 to 61 kind of range, and then really what we want to see is that if the selling does come back down to that 58 to 60 focal point, we want to see the bulls dig in there and see whether we can see some important bottoms coming in here. And finally, I want to take a look at that ISE Mini FTSE 100 Index, which is the symbol UKX. And as well here, we're seeing that 15-day rally coming right up into that 390-400 zone we've been talking about for the last few weeks. And really, that upwards wedging flagging formation really has that potential to also retrace off of here. The one thing that's evident, though, is that the London market has some relative weakness compared to its American counterparts. The rally itself didn't undo as much damage as the American markets have. Really, at some stage, we do need to see some sort of profit-taking cycle in here as well to see whether or not these are important bottoms or whether there's another big sell cycle coming. So we'll get that information over the upcoming weeks. The bottom line is a retracement here. It comes down to the 365 to 375 area, and that's where we'd want to see the bulls dig in and hold the line for maybe a push all the way up into that 420, 430 area up above. That was your ISE Equity Index Outlook. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you for participating in this week's session. Please join us again next week. For more information about Patrick Ceresna and to sign up for free index options trade alerts, visit www.optionsource.net. To learn more about ISE index options, visit us at www.ise.com/indexoptions.